Behind every great PKer is a main, funneling it money, because you're already addicted to this game and you now have decided it's a great way to throw away your hard-earned GP learning how to PvP. So in today's video, we begin our PK bootcamp. Now I've decided the best way to begin our grassroots of PKing will begin on a free-to-play ranged two-hand. There are a few reasons for this, the first being the account is very simple to make, as well as it has a low operating cost as far as gear and supplies go, and the account also has the potential to develop a variety of PvP skills, such as sliding, stacking, and delaying. For now though, we'll be focusing on stacking. Stacking is inflicting multiple hits to your opponent in quick succession. Now this is usually done by using a long range attack followed up by a short range attack. Now because there is a delay in your long range attack from registering, your damage stacks, and it's used to KO your opponent. There are optimal ways to create a free-to-play ranged two-hand account, and it should be noted that optimization is an important PvP concept, so we'll be discussing that in depth in a future video. This account build caps its attack level at 40, and that's for use of best in slot rune weaponry, and it keeps its defense level at 1. Your strength and range level will continue to rise while PKing. I advise you to get this to at least 40 before starting, and you'll need to maintain a healthy relationship with both of these as they continue to level up. Now that's based on personal preference. Myself though, I keep this to about a couple level margin. Your prayer level can be 1, 13, or 31, and from what I've researched, these levels are optional based on your combat bracket. Now this is my personal ranged two-hand account, and the one we'll be using to PK on. To start, I've bought 10 sets of gear as well as supplies on my main, and I'll be trading these over to my peer. Now I've bought multiple sets because I realized death is a possibility when PKing others, and as a noob, I have to understand that death is part of the learning curve. I will admit, I have done this exact trade a handful of times over the years, and usually lose these 10 sets over the next month. Now during these times, I was trying not to play a lot of Runescape, and logging in, dying in my first fight, then logging out was a really healthy way to keep me from playing. But we're back, this time to learn PKing and become decent at it, so consistency is going to be our secret. That being said, I will see you in the next clip, where we try our skill in the wilderness. When starting, I recommend you skull up. Now this can be done by speaking with the emblem trader outside the Edgeville Bank, and that's because you're not likely to find people willing to fight you unless you're skulled and risking a rune two-hand. In these fights, my goal is to stack my opponent out, so I'm mainly watching my experience drops, my health, and my opponent's health. The goal is to time a large, long-range experience attack, then quickly switching into my two-hand and get a damage stack, hopefully getting a KO. Usually you and your opponent keep your health in a position where you might get stacked out. Now that's all part of the risk, because if you're eating to full, no one will want to fight you. Now I've died a lot to get to this comfort zone of free-to-play PKing. Unfortunately that was so sporadic that I didn't keep track of it, but during this fresh season, I did start off pretty hot with a couple kills, but that was followed by many deaths. I realized focus is really important because when I wasn't focusing, I definitely made a lot of silly mistakes, and that's also why I'm commentating my experiences. I also noticed my opponent's skill level definitely varied. Now there's this one guy that just worked me, and movement like his is definitely a goal of mine. This was definitely one of my more intense fights. I'm just having such a good time out there. You know, people talk about like a runner's high, and I think PKing has its own version of it, because in this one I was just really proud to just duke it out and see it to the end. Now, not every fight is a deathmatch. People will run when they're low or out of food. I know, I've done it. So I did end up losing the 10 sets that day, and that was spread over about 3 hours of gameplay, and I finished with a kill-death ratio of 8 to 10. Now I was pretty impressed by this, because I know when I first started it was more like 1 in 5, maybe, like I say that because I only remember dying, and the goal is definitely to improve on this in my next session. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would really be appreciated, and also comment your thoughts below. I'm really enjoying working on these, so subscribe if you want to keep up to date. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.